this time I'm going to try to make another sourdough loaf. I think I have enough flour. I realize I have a bunch of wheat flour and I don't have much of a white flour, but that's not a big deal. Okay, loaf one is ready to go. I'm going to put it in another bowl and then start the next mix. Okay, two is ready. Gotta let him sit. Okay, got an hour in. So I'm gonna put some dimples in. I didn't do it the last time, and I realized this is the better way to do it. Just kind of give it some dimples so you have some place for the salt to go. Got 15 grams. Make sure your measuring cup is dry. The other day I didn't do it dry and it was just stuck in there. It doesn't really matter. But fold it in. I think this whole process of measuring and folding and putting all this stuff together can be oddly therapeutic. If nothing else, if you're mad at something or someone, you can just take this and just pound on it. And it really does allow you to just either get out the aggression or stop focusing on something that you don't really need to be focusing on. It's odd, I know. But if nothing else, if that doesn't help you with anything, at least at the end of this you have some bread to eat. So you can eat your feelings of nothing else. So I'm going to incorporate this salt a little bit. This dough is feeling pretty good. I think the other one I may have put a little too much water, but I compensated with more flour. Okay, now the messiest and usually the hardest part is getting the starter in here. I fed her last night. She's peaking. Completely full here. I need a decent amount, so I think that's what I have. Wore a black shirt so that way all the flour and salts and dough gets on it and you'll just see streaks everywhere. I guess that's the reason I wear it. So the difference here is that I'm going to have one loaf with like a quarter of white flour, unbleached white flour, and the other is just going to be whole sourdough. Whole wheat sourdough. So I'm not making these for me. So the whole wheat one, I think my mom will like that one. So my mom will get that one. That's the nice thing about bread. If you want to practice and make more bread quicker, it's usually not too hard to give a loaf of bread away. People will usually take it and not resist. So if you want to keep practicing bread and making bread and one after another, you can usually find a group of people that are willing to take it. Okay. That was like at least 12, 13 minutes of it's in good shape. Take this, cover it up. That last one is ready to fold. So in an hour, I'll start folding those. This second loaf, this is the all wheat. So it's a wheat starter, so it already has that wheat in it. So this one's a little bit dry too now. Great. Not a problem because we're about to add the wet starter again, so it's just going to be it's just going to get really super soaked again. All right. Done. Now I wait for an hour and then I start the folding process. All right, fold number one. So far it's looking okay. Oh yeah, there you go. Nice elasticity. This is what you want. It's just it almost feels it's like almost not leathery, but it's definitely the elasticity is nice. It folds really well. It stays together, so it has this. It congeal, I guess, is not the word you're supposed to use, but it's close. It feels airy. It doesn't feel too crazy. It feels like the loaf that I made. Continuity's sake, I made it yesterday. So I'm making these for other people today and just to practice. When you go off of a good day like making the bread like I made yesterday, this one came out really good. So I'm very happy with it. We just ate breakfast, Eleni made me some toast with it. It came out really great. So it's coming in, it's getting really nice and tight already. It feels good. I think we're in really good shape here. This is the other one. This is all wheat. So it doesn't look too much different actually. Same thing, really good elasticity. Folds really well. I don't know, like some people say it's like X amount of folds, 4, 5, 7. I just keep folding until I can't really shake it, until it doesn't want to stretch anymore. Then I know I've put enough folds into it. I'm not an expert, I'm not a pro, I'm just somebody trying to bake bread in their kitchen, at home, and then making videos about it. Then you probably folded enough. This one again, feels really nice, feels airy, feels thick. It's a nice good fold. It is 10:47 a.m. I have 2 more folds in front of me. So the first fold went really well. I think we're in good shape. Another hour has passed, so I'm going to flip again. Or fold, not flip. Okay. It's feeling nice and tight, feeling the way it should. The folds are a little bit harder to do, which is good. I think this should be the last one. Yeah. The folds are getting progressively harder to make, which is good. That means it's tightening. That means there's a lot of structure and strength. This is just straight whole wheat all the way through. I've never done it just straight wheat, but the starter is wheat, so it's not too big of a change. And again, this feels nice and tight. It's tight and strong. I should be able to mold it into the pan really easily. That was the second fold. Second fold is done. One more fold, and then fold, and then another hour, and then shape. So in an hour I do the third fold, the last fold, and the next hour I shape it and put it in the pan, proof it for about 2 hours or so, and then in the oven. So it's coming along exactly as I'd hoped. Third, final fold. Really tight, which is good. All right, last fold. Next is going to shape it, let it rest for about an hour right now though. Looks good, feels good. Last fold. So the next thing, I'm going to shape them both. I'm going to give it like an hour before I do that. Shape them both, put them in my pans, and then getting closer. Everything's looking good so far. Feels great. So, just really easy. Feels really good. So wrap it with saran wrap. It's 205. Do them around the same time. But yeah, this thing's looking good. I should probably push it down the center a little bit so it'll be. Feels nice and airy, nice and fluffy. Eleni was saying, well, maybe you should just do the whole thing with wheat, and she may be right. It this feels like almost like a ball of water. It's weird. It's nice. It feels good the way it's supposed to. Alrighty, now 2 hours or so to proof, and then in the oven. So it is 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So hopefully we'll have a nice piece of bread here, a nice loaf of bread around 5:30. So we'll see. Set a timer for 45 minutes.
45 minutes. Counting down.
And we're done. They're looking really good. Looking exactly as I hoped. So we've got about 22 minutes to go, and they'll be out. They smell really good. They look good. Wow. Okay. I think we're in good shape. Now it's going to take a few hours. I found that it's best to just leave them for as long as possible before you cut into them. But everything looks perfect. I think I mentioned it before that these loaves weren't for me. They're for my parents and my in-laws. I was just wanted to. I told my mom the week before I'll bring you a loaf. So I was making her loaf, and then my wife's parents were asking, so when do we get? So I was like, okay, I can just make two, it's more practice. I have fun doing it anyway, so it's not that it's not like any work, right? It's the hard part is the first two parts, making the auto lease, setting the flour in a dough, and then putting the starter in that and getting that all mixed up and getting the right consistency. After that, it's just folding, and once you've gotten to the right point with folding, it's just a matter of doing them. And then shaping, one note about that is the first one I made, I think that properties of it are perfect. So flatten it out, fold the corners in, and then take one of the corners and start rolling it up into, and it just forms a loaf. And that loaf has inconsistent structure, I guess. So that way when you cut it, you don't have like, because I notice when I roll it, it'll go into a circle, and then when you cut it, it breaks into smaller pieces. If that makes any sense. So that way when you're eating the bread, it doesn't come off in like slices almost. It just all is one cohesive piece. And I think rolling it that way, I think that way rolling, I did it by accident really. And then I realized when I was doing it, I was like, oh, it came out as a perfect roll. That's how I'm going to do it from now on, and it works. That loaf had a really consistent top. I put 2 slices in it like this, so that way I could differentiate the loaves, so that way I wouldn't have to remember that this is wheat and that's like a quarter white or whatever. So I have I don't have any, well, I have video of my mom cutting up the wheat loaf, just for a few seconds of that. Then I have a picture of the loaf, just for a few seconds of that. Then I have a picture of the loaf cut. The wheat came out pretty good. That was the one that I tried. There isn't a huge difference in flavor from the one I made before, which is about 70% white, and then the rest is wheat. So in a pinch, it's not going to be bad at all. It's going to taste almost the same. It's going to have a good consistency, a good flavor. The one I made for my in-laws came out really good. Everybody liked it. There's a quick picture of that one, and everybody was pretty happy with it. Nobody had any complaints, I don't think, or that I heard. But the loaves, how I did them, and how I did them the prior one, which was 10. So this is 11 and 12, loaf 11 and 12. I will have, I think I have a game plan moving forward now. I think I've gotten to a point where I don't have to refine a recipe or figure out measurements anymore, as long as I keep with this, and I can start experimenting with flavors as far as more wheat or like half and half. I think that's the way to go, half and half, or maybe just all white. I wouldn't mind trying all white with this too, because the starter is still going to be wheat. But 11 and 12 loaves, 11 and 12 are done, and I think I'm finally starting to figure it out.